This episode with Justyna Jakubczyk is all about movement, micro-movements, and how important it is in offices. Would you imagine that corporations will let you dance in front of your desk? Let's start. Hello, Justyna. Tell me about yourself and tell us why is it worth listening to you?
Okay, hello world. Hello, it's me, Justyna, and my friend, my brain, brain model. So we will talk about.
So it's worth listening to you because you have two brains.
That's the first reason. The second one could be connected with unconventional way of working in business areas, because I'm a dancer. I was a dancer. I was a dance trainer, and since 2014, so already 10 years, I was working in big companies and corporate, actually kind companies, and I was trying to connect my passion of movement, dancing, and using dance and theater tools, and how can I use it, and how the business can benefit from use those tools. So I tried to inspire business leaders to observe their workers, their environment, and see how much destroying is the sedentary lifestyle, and how does it how does it influence our brain abilities, like concentration, like decision making, like problem solving, create some ideas, and so on. So if I can explain what I do actually in business, I help companies managing customer experience. So how they can treat customers, how they can listen to the voice of customers, and how can they use it to improve business indicators like retention rate, like customer lifetime value, revenue, conversion, and loyalty. So this is my main area. So mostly I cooperate with client departments, client service, customer care, and so on, customer success. But doing it, I conduct workshops, I lead some projects. I need to work with people, trying to help them to be more empathetic. So trying to see the perspective of customers, and then they need to think creatively, what can we improve in our processes, procedures, communication, products, and so on, to make our customers feel more satisfied and more willing to buy more.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff. But yeah, we're going to, since business is very, very, very boring, we are going to focus on dancing. So let's delve deeper into you, the dancer trainer, the dance trainer. What were you dancing, and why do you do business then?
Okay.
Why not dancing?
Business is not so boring, and I try to show it today. Okay. Well, I was dancing dancehall. It's Jamaican dance, and it was my dream already after watching the Sean Paul video on MTV, and I felt in love actually in this Jamaican type of music. It was more energetic and vigorous than reggae, for example. So for me, it was crucial, because my body felt that I need to have movements that are powerful, not calm, swinging, and so on, but also strong and fighting movements sometimes.
All right.
So this was the factor from going from dancehall that made me interested in not only dancing but also Jamaican culture. So for 12 years, I was dancing dancehall and also teaching, leading some groups of girls. And then when I graduated my studies, it wasn't connected with dancehall. Oh, maybe a bit, because my master thesis was about how Jamaica, as a small country, built strong and powerful brand in the world. So that was some topics connected to music and dance as well. And it was like about branding. And this was the first time that I saw in the literature, like in some books and articles, that this is something like brand experience, and it could be used by not only by states, nations, countries, but also by businesses. Or probably the roots of brand experience came from business, but it was for me the first way of exploring brand experience was connected with Jamaica and then comparing it to Poland. And then I started to think, okay, what is our Polish richness that we can use? It's not about dance and music, rather. um, it was like for me, it's like folklore music, okay, but it's not so worldwide known. And then I started to think, okay, so maybe business and the entrepreneurial mind is the way that Poland could promote ourselves, like Polish people could promote ourselves in the world. So the second step was, okay, brand experience, so maybe also customer experience. So I connected the dots, and then I started to work in my first company.
Okay, lovely. So I understand now how this love towards dancing was very naturally incorporated into this business life of yours. But tell me then, specifically, where did this idea of desk dancing come from? Because I'd say this is why you might be famous. For me, you're the dancer behind the desk. Tell me a little bit more about this. Was there a specific moment when you realized that this could be the way of maybe raising awareness that we should move at work behind those desks and so on?
Mhm. The first situation that I decided to incorporate dancing tools into the business sphere was uh, during the project in Credit Agricole Bank when I was working in a big IT transformational program, and I entered the open space, and I saw around 50 developers that were working on their daily task stuff and so on. And my role was to talk to them and try to help them to fix the bugs, like IT bugs. Uh, and I saw that in the first part of the day, they were working, no problem. We can discuss, we can create some solutions and so on. But after 12, after 1 p.m., they started to be like sometimes groggy, sometimes snoozy, and sometimes they treat me like I disturb them. So they weren't willing. They hadn't willingness to cooperate. And I saw that, for example, after 4 p.m. they needed to go to home, but they have a lot of work, so they decided to stay, and they were sitting all day. And okay, I needed to have a tool to make them feel better, to make them be more open what I need to do with them actually. So my first proposition was, okay, I can afford sitting 4 hours long. So I decided to stand up and go around them and try to use my hips and swing a bit and also stretch near the wall. And some of them were a bit interested. Okay, what do you do actually in the office? Okay, so I talked to them that, well, I was a dancer. I've been spending 8 hours at the dance floor, and now I'm in the open space and I need to sit at the desk. It's not for me. So I will be moving a bit. Can you join me? Do you want to join me? And some of them decided to join me. So we had, after 2-3 days, we decided um, to put to our calendar like 5 minutes breaks. And it was like 2 times a day. So I was the first person that told them, okay, this is time for break. Let's go. If you want to go for a walk outside, feel free. Or maybe you want to stretch and breathe with me. Let's go. Let's do it. So I have a group of volunteers, and they had fun and they felt better after it. And that was like our project routine. This was the first situation. And the second one was during workshops. I had 15 people in the room, and they had 3 hours time for finding solutions for quite big business problem, like let's say conundrum. It wasn't easy. So they weren't used to think creatively, like immediately. Okay, like I would say to you, okay, Mateusz, you have 5-10 minutes, so let's create great idea how we can shorten our onboarding process. It wasn't easy, so I needed to have the tool to boost your creativity, to try to help you think out of the box. So I didn't know any business tools of creative thinking, so I used my tools from the dancing.
All right.
And the first one, I told them, okay, you need to feel relaxed. This is the first condition for you to develop your ability to think outside the box. Okay, how to feel relaxed? Let's breathe and let's play one favorite song. You can choose your favorite song. And I played it, and I talked to them, okay, let's leave your chairs and let's just walk throughout the space. Only these two things, music and walking.
Okay. And it was very natural for them to just move in the rhythm of the music.
It wasn't easy at the beginning. It was strange for them. It was cringe for them. Some of them didn't want to do that. And it was, for me, it was okay. I allowed them to not do it, just observing, because I knew that you have your mirror neurons. It's a great part of our brain cells. It's connected with mirroring, so you observe others and you start actually doing like them, like yelling. I start yelling, you start yelling, or yawning.
You smile, I smile.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel you. And actually, it was very great idea to, because what you didn't say that they are going to dance.
No.
You told
It
them
would be too
to
much.
just stand up and go, and you just played the music, and that's it. So you actually had not used the word that could be petrifying for the people, like dancing. I don't like dancing, but moving in the rhythm of the music, yeah, I can do that.
Okay. So you have your own rhythm. So the music can only encourage you to move, like natural way. Yeah. Yes, and I knew that the word of dancing, let's dance together, let's try to do some dancing exercise, it would be too much for them, because I saw their reactions at this open space when I was start moving and using my hands and using some dancing steps. They were a bit intimidated, maybe. So I felt those signs, and I felt that okay, it's natural way of moving and expressing myself, but it's totally not the way they express themselves. It's like two different words.
So,
I think
by the way,
Mhm.
because look, we've got dancing, which could be intimidating, as we stated, it's quite difficult and stuff. So, why dancing instead of doing squats, for example, and
Mhm.
stretch a bit?
Mhm.
Why dancing?
That's a really good question, and it is connected actually what areas of our brain are stimulated by different types of exercises. So, okay, maybe I will use my brain model
Yeah, the second
right
braid.
now. And okay, we can talk about, for example, aerobic exercise, uh, lift weights, yoga, and stretching. So the static activities. Um, and for example, let's say sport drills like gymnastics. And if you do exercise like aerobic, like walking, running, jogging, and dancing as well, you influence on the part of the brain which is called hippocampus, and this is connected with this small part here, and this is connected with memory, like short and long memory, but also emotional processing, and this is the first way of stimulate your ability to think creatively, because you start connecting the dots. Perfect connection of how the brain works and how it is connected with our language skills, spelling, and so on. Because first of all, hippocampus is close to very important, crucial part of the brain, which is called cerebellum. It's like a small brain. Cerebrum is a big brain, so actually the whole structure, and the cerebellum is a small brain. And this is the first part between our brain and the neck, and it is responsible for motor coordination, for speaking, for knowing signs which are characteristic for different languages, and also this is connected with emotional processing. So the body posture, the balance, and so on. This is the first role of the cerebellum, and the second one is connected with processing, the ability to move and the ability to speak. So
That's very great that you are able to actually respond to this very difficult question. I was sure that this question is going to be quite problematic to, well, to respond using some scientific explanation that is going to be precise. But I can see that you know your shit in this domain. That's for sure. Okay, I was not prepared for all those difficult words from anatomy, yeah, that stuff.
I guess so. I know this. I'm actually neuroscientific freak, so um, I like learning some facts about the brain activity, which is connected with movement. So this is my passion, and actually I considered to go to the PhD, to start my PhD about how the dance and body movement can influence the brain. So this is the body movement and dance neuroscience.
Okay. Yeah, we have a lot in common because of neurosciences. We use neurosciences too at PLA school because we've created our method based on this fresh view and fresh research that gives, well, more notion of what we are supposed to do if we want to really be good at languages and wielding them, because just gathering knowledge about language does not mean that you are going to use it properly, spontaneously, and stuff. Okay, so generally, we have this dancing behind the desk, desk dancing. What are the most common barriers people face in starting to move at work? We already mentioned, well, thinking that dancing is not for them and stuff. Do you think they feel judged? Or what are the other things?
Yes, they can feel judged, but the first thing which stopped them to move is, okay, I don't want to be this one strange or not serious person which will move in other way than the others. So in Poland, we don't have this courage to be out of the schema. So if everyone is sitting, and this is actually the first rule while you work in the office or work in front of your desk, you need to sit. And if you sit, your boss watches you and see that you are working actually.
Yeah.
But when you start moving, dancing, so it seems to be fun. So you are not in the at work and in the office to have fun, but to work actually. So
Yeah, you go to work to be miserable.
Exactly. It looks a bit differently in other countries because I met one dancer from Finland, for example, and she told me that it's quite normal for them to keep moving at work. So they go outside, they go for walks, they do some squats together and so on, or they do like not stand like do they do stand-ups with stand-ups, not with sitting poses.
Uh-huh.
And in Poland, when I started to work in big companies, they were the name of the meeting like stand-ups, and they were sitting. So where is this crucial idea of standing up and walk a bit? Yeah. So but after pandemic, it's starting to change. I saw the shift toward the bigger awareness how much we need movement and how bad is like sedentary lifestyle, especially while when you are sitting all day long without breaks. And also there is more and more research that are used in the business sphere as well to convince leaders, let's do some breaks for our employees. Like for example, Decathlon decided to give 1 hour per week for the workers to go and train.
Oh yeah, it's pretty recent.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like positive. First positive project, like big project, that can show other companies how much workers need it. And then the second one was a social campaign made by ASICS, like sport shoes company. And they, I don't know if you saw the video, there is one famous actor, like the scariest boss in the world, and he is sitting at the desk, and he is totally mad at this desk, and he called it like a killer. And even though he called the business routines, like for example, Fruit Fridays or Fruit Tuesdays, fuck the fruits. Your workers need to move, jump, run, and so on. 15 minutes a day. You need to leave your desk and just move for your body and also for your mind. So this is about the mental health.
All right. So, since we live in Poland, I'm wondering, how do you convince those older generations, the companies with no culture of this physical activity? Generally, you go to the corporation and you say, what, guys, let's dance behind the desk. I don't think it's going to work. So what's your strategy? How do you speak to them?
Mm-hmm. First of all, I need to know the health and well-being strategy of the company to um, to feel that they already have consider the need to take care of the mental health and the energy level, the mood of the workers, and so on, to create the safety and healthy space for developing their skills and supporting them solving problems, doing tasks, and it's about productivity. So it's a business actually stuff, and they need to take care of it. So when the company have a well-being strategy, then I know that I can start my narrative about, okay, so maybe not dancing, but let's try to educate your workers that they need to have 5 minutes break, or maybe 10 or 15. 15, it's like optimum, and it's like perfect break during the day. But also 5 minutes breaks or even exercise snacks, 1-2 minutes. It's already good way to improve your mood, ability to concentrate more, to hyper focus, to deep learning, and so on. So my first argument is connected. Your company will benefit from it. Let's try. And what I do, I go to them with my brain model, and I try to make them be interested a bit. Okay, so what your body actually, how work your body when you are in the sitting posture, and how your body feel and work when you are, like, when you stand, for example, and move a little bit. It's about tension, relax. It's about breathing and how space. How do you feel the space in your body, and how does it motivate you to do the next, I don't know, task, like your daily work task.
And what about numbers, for example, or any KPIs? I mean, the corporation would love to see some numbers around what you're saying. And I'm asking because it's quite a fit for us to, it's very difficult to make them understand that working on your communication skills is going to be beneficial. But I am not going to give you any percentage or number of clients you are going to acquire because of that. It's soft. So how do you try and put the soft things, soft skills, soft areas into Excel?
And this is the most difficult question, and the biggest challenge. I'm not able to use any numbers in their Excel. They need to do it by themselves. So it's like an experiment. For example, I cooperated with one insurance company. The HR director decided to make a try, and they decided to have 3 months of 15 minutes break every day for the group of workers. And they, at first, they wanted to engage some research, like brain research, to observe the cognitive function using MRI or other equipment, but it was too expensive to do it properly. So the first thing that I provided to them, was some research, because we have, since 15 years, like for last 15 years, there is big amount of research, neuroscientific research, how the movement is influencing the brain. Like, for example, arithmetic, reading comprehension, spelling, problem solving, creative thinking, and so on. So I have numbers coming from the research. Like, for example, in 2009, Chuck Hillman, so the professor from University of Illinois, decided to run a test with pre-adolescents. So it's another group, but maybe not workers, but we can have some hypothesis from it. And he measured what kind of brain, what type of, no, how many areas in the brain is activated after 20 minutes of sitting and after 20 minutes of walking. And the significant increase was connected with, for example, reading comprehension. It's a crucial skill when you work in the office, because every time you need to read the emails, you need to read the reports and so on, and you need to have skills to process it, to analyze it, to synthesize it, and so on. So the first argument comes from research, and the second one is connected with observing the qualitative factors. And we engaged those groups. There were like 40 people which decided to have those breaks, and they were noticed, like they were summarizing their mood, their willingness to finish their work, the task, not to delay it, not to postpone it, and so on, every day. So we have 3 months. So it was 12 weeks. And every day, after the 15 minutes breaks, they needed to observe themselves. They needed to write how they feel. So we got the qualitative information. Okay, where is the biggest difference, actually?
Okay, so this is how you present the soft data. I just came with a nice idea concerning languages, because there are statistics from the UK, but it's almost decade old. Whoa, 2015, there was a research which stated that around 50 billion pounds are being lost yearly by the whole UK because of the lost contracts, because of lack of languages or linguistical skills. Like, how come? English is their mother tongue. So how is it possible? It is possible, and let's just try imagine similar statistics for Poland and what is going to be the number. I think they don't really understand, the managers, the sales managers, they don't understand that CRM is not your best tool, your main tool. Your main tool of sales is not the phone. It's your language. It's your communication, your skills, soft skills in this area. So you can have the best phone and the best CRM if you don't know how to speak with your potential clients from given region and stuff and so on and so on. This tool is not going to count, right?
I admire that you dive so much deep into those numbers and the statistics that you can use. Maybe I would do similar thing, because I guess that we can calculate, okay, if your workers are too much tired after, for example, 2 p.m., you lose 1 hour a day per one worker. So let's calculate how big is this amount of hours of all the co-workers, and okay, how much do you pay for it for losing this 1 hour? But to be honest, actually connecting movement with business and do those dancing stuff is my passion. It's not my business goal. So I just have fun sometimes conducting some webinars or inspiring companies, giving them a speech or giving them those 15 minutes training, desk breaks, and so on. But it's not my business. So maybe this is this is the reason that I didn't do that right now, because it was quite enough to give them some stories behind sedentary lifestyle and the consequences coming from this work and lifestyle, and giving them arguments coming from research, scientific research. So
if we are talking about numbers, generally in B2B, we could go as low as 5 minutes of miscommunicated messages during the day. It's not so much, but if you go like 5 days a week, 4 weeks a month, 12 months, and 15 crucial employees, only 15, it's 18,000 minutes yearly, which is 300 hours. So it's like almost 2 months of your one employee doing miscommunication.
Oh, wow.
And we should imagine right now, it's not like being absent from work during those almost 2 months. It's doing miscommunication, which is going to result in wrong numbers, issues like law issues maybe, and stuff like this. So if you try and put some stuff into numbers, sometimes you can...
Yeah, it's eye-opening.
Yeah.
Very much.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Oh. Thanks for inspiration for me. Maybe I will do any calculation, like
or research, because I think there might be people who already tried and do something similar, especially in maybe Finland. So you wield your English quite well. I think you might be trying and seeking those information in English and in other countries.
Definitely, because in Poland we suffer lack of rich research and also articles who can help us actually. So every article about the productivity connected with stress, or lack actually of productivity, or decrease of productivity connected with stress, like you said, miscommunication as well, or the well-being and the mood and the level of concentration. Everything I found was in English, coming from other countries, like even Germany, for example. In Poland, it's not so. I don't know why. Maybe this is my hypothesis, because we have a lot great professionals in scientific areas, but they are focusing on medical things rather than, this is only my hypothesis, but yeah, I found a lot of research about heart transplantation, yeah, and so on, yeah, but it wasn't connected with business. But for example, last year, some companies in Poland decided to try to start the project of 4 days a week working, 4 days working week. This idea, so 3 Fridays, and around this new implementation, new way of working, new way of running the company, was connected with quite deep research. So maybe using those data would be helpful.
I also believe that we just have many beliefs and we don't want to change them. So we have this tendency of saying that, those were the days, and we do not embrace the change, even if we see that it could be beneficial. This is the reason why it's very difficult to make people understand that, for example, group lessons in languages are very, very low quality, and they are not going to move you forward, because the language is very individual. So we need to study individually, and we need to see the language individually. We need to set some goals that are very individual, because the language is going to be the most important tool in our life and achieving our goals. So studying language needs to be aligned with your individual way of living. It's so problematic for people to understand that, but hey, here we are, PLA school. Okay.
And you know what? It reminds me some words, or yeah, the message that I heard from one leader, that we maintain our status quo because we know how much effort we need to put into the shift. So we are not ready for it financially, mentally, system-wise, and so on. So we just decided to keep the way that we know. I have in front of my eyes actually right now the three factors that I use measuring customer experience. So I will do some analogy. Sometimes you have some pain points which are deal breakers or win or gains, let's say. And then you have some factors that make customers feel satisfied or assure the comfort level. So the comfort level is the minimum effort that the company need to do, but actually customer will not appreciate it at all, or maybe sometimes. And then the satisfaction level. So I was listening to you, and I tried to have some thoughts about this. Okay, you can do those exercises, you can do the things like you do with no more weights and so on, and this is your comfort zone, comfort level. Okay, I were there, I did my task, I can feel okay with myself that I didn't resign, I did it. And the second level is, okay, so maybe 1 kilo more or maybe 5 minutes more. So any indicators that you can feel like this is the stimulator, and this is the nice way to gain the quality. But the question is, what is your motivation if you want to have more, and for what?
Oh yeah.
Or maybe you can keep this level of just comfort.
Sure. If you could teach listeners one thing that they could implement immediately after our discussion, what would it be?
1 minute exercise snack. For example, you stand up, you unstack the chair, you try to move your body like naturally, yes. And now you can choose 3 different types of exercise snacks. First one is fingers game. So you can focus on your hands. Try to do it like this. Uh-huh. And the thing is, you need to change the way using your hands and your fingers.
Okay, like this?
Like this. Yeah, this is the first stage actually. It's not so much difficult. Yeah, great. You
Right.
great. The second thing, it's much more demanding. So, uh-huh.
Come again? Because I. What did you do?
The configuration, coordination. So, your one hand is with, something like this. Yes, exactly. You got it. Almost. Yeah, that's like a brain gym because it's not natural that both of your hands do different moves.
And it's a little bit more difficult if you are not looking at your fingers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this you can connect it with eyes and or not. So okay, this is the first exercise snack. The other thing that you can do, you can take care of your eyes. It's like a digital hygiene. So instead of being still in the tunnel vision, because when you use your screens, computer or telephone, you have the tunnel vision. So it is very much stressful after, for example, 1 hour. So the first thing that you can do, okay, stop watching the screen, and you can use the peripheral vision. So try to just move your body from the left to the right, and you can also do the auto massage of your eyes. So try to close the one eye and make and the 4 directions actually: up, right, down, and left, and a few times. And you can also do something like this, following the hands by your eyes. So this is like exercise for your eyes. And one other and very much beneficial for your brain thing that you can do for 1 minute, it's going stairs, like for example 5 floors, but not walking, rather running, to make your heart a bit much more and to increase your heart rate. Or you can do some weight squats, or maybe weight lifts, only 1 minute, and you will feel the difference. It is connected with oxygen and so on, and you stimulate the bio-derived neurotrophic factor, which is substance like for your neurons. It's a protective way of your neurons. So the first thing, but for example, it's like energy snack. So you boost your neurons.
Right. Cool. Sounds really cool. And it sounds like not a big deal to implement it into your daily.
Exactly. It's not must be like very big thing. Or for example, 15 minutes is great, but it doesn't need to be 15 minutes. Let's start with 1 minute.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, before you do 15 minutes, you'll have to take some steps to achieve 15-minute period of uh, moving and dancing and stuff. I mean, one step at a time, right?
Yeah, it is, because 15 minutes is connected with, okay, you need to plan it, you need to put it somehow into your calendar, you need to think, okay, what exactly should I do during those 15 minutes? So it's the extra effort, but it needs to be effortless at the beginning, at least.
Yeah, yeah. Or seamless, because there's always an effort. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Seamless is a better word.
Okay, one last thing. Let's imagine you have the power to change every office in the world. What would you change? Just one thing. It could be like a physical thing, or it could be a process or some kind of habit we have at the offices.
Music in the office. So I would love to implement the procedure of uh, having speakers at the ceilings, and let's try play the music even for 15 minutes in the first part of the day and 15 minutes in the second part of the day. And when you will uh, feel the rhythm and listen to this music, you will naturally go through it and move your body. yeah, and exactly that's it. This is a small change, but could have a big effect.
Yeah, so let's just imagine you are behind the schedule with your team and you play some metal music so you can fucking just do it.
But you need to be careful because metal music or techno or so on, it can help you for 15 minutes, but sometimes it's too much, especially when your nervous system is much more awakened than you want it to be. So it could increase the stress level. So we need to be aware what type of music can help us or maybe make us feel worse. So,
Yeah, I've been reading some research about classics like Mozart and just the music, no lyrics, and soft and not too loud, rather quiet.
Mm-hmm.
It can be very beneficial for your brain and your creativity and generally doing things.
It's connected with vibrations that you can feel in the body while you listening the music, noise, loud music, and this is connected with BPMs as well. So
Okay.
dynamic.
Yeah. This is why the techno music could be beneficial just for a short while. Afterwards, we are just tired of it.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. So it's too much stimulation sometimes.
I think I would change the desks because actually today I've been moving with you a little bit, like dancing and breathing, and stuff, and stretching a little bit because I have this desk with the regulation of height.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I'm standing right now.
Are you standing? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so, but I was wondering if you have maybe some. Um, Sometimes people don't have desks but they build something like, for example, me. I have maybe I can show you somehow.
Uh-huh. Whoa.
Yeah, and a lot of people in my environment do build some desks from different furniture. Yeah, exactly. And especially when they consider to spend, I don't know, 2,000 zlotys and so on for the regulated desk.
No, it
They
was 1K.
1K.
And yeah, and it serves me really well. It's the second year and no issues whatsoever so far. It's a very good idea to invest in your environment, and I think that if I could change anything in the offices that would be the desk.
Uh, yeah, it could help, but what I was observing, even though because I work in co-working, so we had some furniture that we can use somehow, for example, regulate the height of the desk. But if people don't have this awareness or have the readiness to change the habit, they still work sitting and having the desk in the lower level.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I think everything is always connected with another thing. Like you can buy the desk, but if you are not using it, there is no benefits. It's like with the textbooks or the apps on courses, the language courses. You just buy a thing, and if you do not bleed there, you do that sweat, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna be beneficial. Yeah. All right, you're right, Justyna. It was an amazing talk. A lot of inspiration for me.
I'm really glad that I could inspire you somehow. And of course, it was um, for me enjoyable watching you moving a bit and also have those insights about your desk and the work environment. I really like it and I admire your decisions.
Oh, thank you.
Because
Oh,
for me, it's connected with big awareness how your body and mind works and what you can need, keeping your lifestyle in a comfort level or maybe the better quality of your of your work and feel.
I think we should educate people and know how to balance and
Hmm.
and juggle with everything like this.
Hmm. You know what? I have some techniques when I learn sometimes English, when I need to be focused on reading and having this comprehension reading mood. I need to have one position, so one stable posture. For example, sitting or standing. But when I learn new words and I need to remember it and connecting sometimes with some context and symbols and so on, I start to use my body. Like I know the words that I wanted to remember, like reciprocity, or
Okay.
is it good pronunciation of this word?
Reciprocity, I guess.
Reciprocity. Reciprocity. Sometimes, yeah, for me it's easier to use my hips and the body to help my brain to remember and to keep the rhythm of the, because for me language, wow, the first thing is the rhythm of it.
Yeah.
Of
I
communication.
wonder, it was hippocampus that is weightier if you are bilingual. So it sounds like there is some kind of connection. No, you need to move if you want to remember it better, and the movement connected with.
This is the set of the, yeah, this is the set of those parts like hippocampus and the cerebellum. Cerebellum is connected with coordination and balance and this, so on. So it's like motor cortex, motor, so movement and the memory. Yeah.
Okay, I feel like we could have very long conversation around neuro linguistics, neurosciences, movement, the way we study languages, and then how we use them spontaneously and seamlessly. Once again, I want to thank you for all the knowledge you've shared and insights and your time. And thank you, audience, for your attention and your time too. I hope that everyone, not only me, gets something for themselves.
I'm really grateful that you mobilized me to prepare myself to talk about the dance movement and the business sphere and our abilities to develop in English. And my insight from today is, well, good that Mateusz told me about those miscommunication things and statistics. This is the first thing that I can implement it into my job, using some statistics and so on. But the second thing is, okay, I had my new way, my own ways of learning languages, and I forgot it, or sometimes, and I can sometimes back to my tools connected with dancing, with music, and starting to boost my ability to learn new words and so on, connecting those different types of learning and developing movement and
Yeah.
languages.
Yeah. I think we shouldn't be too rigid, meaning have just one way of acquiring languages. It should go with the flow, develop, change constantly.
Thanks a lot, and I will see you dancing. Not only you, Mateusz, but the audience as well.
Okay, great. I can promise you that. Thank you once again and keep in touch.
Thanks.